you got to ask yourself, like, why you? Let's say if you were the master, or you were God, or whatever is the higher power. Why you? Why should anyone pick you ever? This video is going to prove life can go from 0 to 100 really quick.
I think these are the moments in our lives when you have nothing but just our confidence in that thing.
Yeah.
Which one do you consider to be so far, at the moment, your best business move?
Crypto, blockchain, Bitcoin. Once I started understanding what blockchain was about, that's when I fell in love with the tech. I'm like, yeah, this is actually revolutionary. Guys, Bitcoin is amazing. It's gonna change the world.
That's one way only. Once you become billionaire, you need to act like that.
No one cares who you are. They just care how you look.
I believe you.
Yeah.
And I love you before, but now I love you even more.
Why me? I keep telling myself, because I'm going to make sure that I do good, I think good, I spread good words, and I'm going to make sure that I make a positive impact. That I'm going to set a good, I'm going to look back and I'm going to leave my mark on this world. I'm going to do something good and people are going to remember me for that. I'm going to help society. 2 years ago, my wallet got hacked. I lost $2 million.
Are you serious?
Danny, do you know?
What type of self-conversations do you have in these moments?
ICO, blockchain, crypto.
What kind of avatar do you have when it comes to Nikita as a CEO?
I'm all over the media. I'm a billionaire.
You woke up in the morning, day one. What do you do?
I want to be able to get involved with the unicorns in the making and to accelerate them, to help them grow, and just to be able to have our voice heard. This is why one day I'm going to be someone. I'm going to be a well-known tech entrepreneur.
I started this podcast for exactly this type of moments. My name is Dani. I'm the founder of ICN Media. And in front of me, I have Nikita Sachdev Lord. How are you doing? And thank you so much for coming to ICN Talks.
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm actually super excited.
Me too as well, because I've been looking for this moment. Honestly, since we started the podcast, we had the list and you were in top of the list.
I know. I've been terrible. I'm like a leprechaun to get hold of. So
it's fine.
Sorry,
as long as you are here, we are good. So let's celebrate the moment and start the podcast. How it's been for you lately? Are you still alive with all what's happening in Dubai currently?
It's been good. Events. I've just been traveling a lot. I mean, I think I'm in Dubai half the month, every month. It's just been 2 weeks in here and 2 weeks traveling.
Yes. And your focus is basically on marketing, right? You are building right now Luna PR and one of the largest marketing agencies in the crypto space, in blockchain space.
Yeah.
Where is your main focus right now, geographically speaking?
Yeah, so geographically, our main focus is quite globally. Actually, a lot of our clients come out from the US. But I think more than marketing, we're public relations and communications. There's a lot of people kind of put it under the same roof, but I feel like there's quite a differentiation between PR, communications, and marketing. We do marketing as well, but our main focus is public relations.
Indeed, it's a very fine tuning, right? When you say, even for us, we are a media company, and then we have conversations oh, so can you do our marketing? Can you run ads? No, I'm doing a little bit different.
Yeah, marketing's a broad term.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Nikita, tell me about your journey a little bit, because I want people to have this, to put a little bit on the time frame, right?
So my parents, my dad was in shipping, so I lived everywhere. He was shipping oil and gas. So I was born in Hong Kong, but when I was a baby, I moved to Cyprus on the Mediterranean Sea. I spent 7 years there, and then I went to Miami when I was 7. So I spent basically the majority of my life in the States. And then after Miami, we moved to Texas. So Houston is what I call home. And then I went to UT Austin, and after that, I went to Singapore. I just followed my dad as well, and I studied medicine, pre-med chemistry at UT Austin, and I didn't want to do that anymore. So I took the excuse and moved to Singapore, where I did my business degree. So I've just lived everywhere my whole life. But when I moved to Singapore, I was 19, and actually I had graduated super young. So I went to university when I was 16, and by the time I was 19, I had a chemistry degree. And then I went to Singapore and studied business there. But my dad was like, "You have to pay for your second degree because I already paid for the first one." And I was looking for part-time jobs around Singapore, and it was kind of tough. Like just how like over here in Dubai, like it's not really the culture, but in the US, like when you're a university student, like you're gonna go and get like a cashier job or like grocery store bagger. Like everyone does something. Like it's normal there. But it wasn't like the culture in Singapore, so it was very hard for me to get a job anywhere as an expat. And one time I was like walking through this mall, and I got stopped in the mall by someone who was like, "Hey, like we were looking for someone with your hair color for a hair dye box who doesn't look Asian." So I was like, wait, okay, first of all, like my parents are Indian, so technically I am Asian, but they meant, I guess, East Asian. So dark hair, non-Asian looking, went for a casting, got the job to be on a hair dye box for my hair color, and it literally paid like $5,000 of like 20 minutes of my time.
Wow.
And it was like the quickest buck I've ever made, and I'd ever made back then. And I was just like, what is this? And I kind of looked into it. The term is commercial modeling. And I started my journey as a commercial model.
Let's spend more time in Singapore then.
I know, yeah. So like, I mean, fast forward, I was the face of Singapore Airlines, of Lux, of Pond's, Colgate, like grocery stores. I was everywhere. I was like in all these billboards. And you know what? It paid well. So like that was the whole thing. It paid my tuition. I paid my degree off. And then I kind of got like sucked into it. I got a call from Fox Studios in India. I went over, and I think like 6 months through me kind of pursuing this like full on career as a model, I was told like, oh, like going to Miss Universe and like this whole like going to movies, this whole like Bollywood thing. I kind of like, I just realized, you know what? Like I never wanted to do this. I was just trying to pay off my tuition. Like this is not my dreams. It's not my goals. I actually hated every second of it. And I just quit. Like I just got up, I packed up my bags, and I was like, I'm getting out of here. And of course there were like some things that like triggered me. Like when I was in India, just seeing like how the industry was, I just did not align. I did not like it. And I went back to Singapore, and I was really torn. Like I was really lost in my career because I'd graduated for like 2-3 years, and I was just modeling, and I was just like known for like how I looked on the outside. I was like really lost in my career. And then
it's because this industry has this how to call it, rumors attached, let's say, with all the models. Let's go to yacht parties, let's go to a lot of invites here and there, right? Like you literally didn't feel that's your place.
Like no one cares who you are. They just care how you look. And like it's just a sad feeling at the end of the day. You think, wow, my career is going to be short-lived. I remember like turning 26 and be like, wow, like my career is almost over. I'm so old, you know? So it's like, that's just, it's really sad. But I came back to Singapore, and I was trying to figure out what to do. And I met this girl who was kind of like in the same boat as me a few years ago. Her name was Louisa. I met her in my university. And all throughout this journey, we said, let's like have our own modeling agency. So we combined our names, Louisa and Nikita. We made Luna, and it was meant to be it was a talent management company. And simultaneously, I was doing like all this like modeling, acting on my own, and she was too. And we were really hustling. So we had like our business, we had our own gigs, we paid off our tuition. Like we were very similar. And I was always like, okay, let's scale. Like, what's next? So we had all these talents. I was like, let's do production. So in 2017, we went to an office to shoot a corporate video. This corporate video was all about crypto, blockchain, Bitcoin. And I remember reading the teleprompter. I was the host of the video, and I was like, da-da-da, ICO, da-da-da, blockchain, da-da-da, crypto. And I was like, wait. what is this language? What am I talking about? And the CEO was like, oh, you don't know Bitcoin? And I was like, no. And he said, if you had put $100 in 2009, you'd be a millionaire today. And I was like, wow, let me go check it out. So I go home, I open up a Coinbase account, and I put in $100 in Bitcoin. And at the time, Coinbase had this like recurring buy option that I either clicked or forgot to unclick. It was something like that. But long story short, every week I had money going out of my bank without me really knowing. I was really bad with like looking at my accounts and all. I was just like not good at like handling accounts. So money was just going out of my account. I had no idea until like 5-6 months later, Bitcoin hit an all-time high of like 20K. And that's when I was like 2017. That's when I was like, oh, I remember I had some Bitcoin. Let me go check. And when I went on Coinbase to check, I had a lot more than I thought I had.
That's fabulous.
So I was like, yeah, like I literally fell uphill. So I created a video and I was like, guys, Bitcoin is amazing. It's going to change the world. And
of course,
my video, yeah, I was just like, I don't know what I was saying on my video, but like all my model friends were like, what are you talking about? But Huobi Exchange, now HTX, saw my video. They DM'd me on Instagram. Well, someone who was working there DM'd me and said, come in as the host of Huobi and interview all the projects that are going to be listed and talk to them and see, you know, who they are. And I was like, that's weird. I was like, sure, let me give this a shot. And I became the host of Huobi. And that's how I started my crypto career. And I really had to study what I was talking about. So I was like forced to learn about it. I was forced to learn about like crypto and the utilities and the underlying technology. Once I started understanding what blockchain was about, that's when like I fell in love with the tech. I'm like, yeah, this is actually revolutionary.
But I want to ask you, where do you think all this internal fire comes from? Like, why you are so action taker and all the time you look like you are jumping on not every single opportunity, but you are good at these things and like going exactly on the right one.
Yeah, I'm an opportunistic person, but I think it's just in my blood. Like, do you know the saying that goes, what is it? Like, tough times make strong men, men make good times make weak men, and weak men make tough times. It's like a circle of life. And I strongly believe that goes into DNA. I think when you look back at my family history, my family's come from a lot of struggle. My dad grew up in the slums, basically, and like my parents didn't grow up with a lot of wealth, you know, and I grew up very middle class. I was always hungry to like for financial freedom and to do my own thing. And my parents always emphasized the importance of education, because they were like, hey, like my mom was like, I didn't get an education. I wanted to become a doctor. Like I wanted to be someone. And in my life, I was like told to like get married when I was 18 years old, because like my family, her mom couldn't afford her to keep her. Like that is like, imagine being in a situation like that. And my mom, like both my parents really instilled that. Like we're 3 sisters. All my sisters are like super successful today. 2 of them are doctors. Like I'm an entrepreneur. And I think really that comes from like my upbringing, my hustle mentality, my like non-attachment to any place, from like moving so many houses and moving so many countries, being able to like adapt to different geographies. I think really my upbringing brought me to this point today. I think education is very important, but like I wasn't like, I'm not an Ivy League graduate, right? Like I didn't go to like a fantastic school, but I think like all throughout, like I just had this thirst of knowledge and the drive to succeed. So I think it's hustle mentality.
When you look back, it's quite easy to say like, okay, I did it, right? Like at the point where you are now in life.
Yeah.
But in the same time, I can really feel that I can see it when I look at you, that you have this desire for way more than this.
Yeah.
And what do you want what will be your like perfect picture?
Yeah, I mean, I'm greedy. Like I want to succeed. Like for me to like never be enough. I think that's like a good and a bad point about me. But like, I think in the next 5 years, like I'm very driven to make Luna Media Corp, to turn Luna Media Corp into a unicorn. I want to make it a media empire. I want it to have not just a media empire, but rather just have like a strong stance, to have influence, to have power in the Web3 space, that we can turn back and we can look back and say, wow, like we actually had a say and a positive impact on the Web3 space. I want to be able to get involved with the unicorns in the making and to accelerate them, to help them grow, and just to be able to have like our voice heard. And that's what we're doing right now. And like we're basically, essentially, Luna PR is like, it's the bridge, right? Like we're taking like technical jargon and we're pushing it out to the layman. We're single-handedly contributing to mass adoption. And ultimately, that's what you need for the space to succeed.
Indeed. Is this that drive that excites you the most? Like when you feel that power, like when you have this ability to influence things in that market that you perform, right, as a business, and you have that feeling that you said something and it happened, or I don't know, this kind of power feelings.
Yeah, like I think power is definitely like one of it, but more so like it's just to have like power means that with power you have, of course, a lot of responsibility, and we want to take that responsibility and have impact. We want to have a positive impact in the space.
I mean, like a personal fulfillment, right? Of course, in a business-wise, you have to take care about all these partnerships, to maintain relationships and stuff. And of course, as the more powerful you are, the higher the deals and so on, right? We know the game. But I mean, like from the personal fulfillment, like when you go home after a long day and you had that, like today I experienced some different feelings like never before, like I've never been at this stage yet, right? Like is that really the core, the fire it comes from?
Yeah, I think like there's two sides to it. So there's like the day-to-day side, and then there's like the overall big picture side. And on the big picture side, I think the fulfillment comes from, like not only are we empowering businesses to get the word out there on what they're doing, and this technology is beautiful, right? Like and spreading the word on what they're doing is like, it's us having a positive impact. But also it comes from like the employees that we have. It's like we have 100 employees now, and knowing that like, we're providing jobs to all these people, and like their careers are in our hands, and we're empowering them to grow, to succeed, and we're teaching them, and they're doing such a fantastic job. Like I'm so proud of all my employees. Like that gives me a lot of fulfillment as well. And so that's like one component of it. And then there's also like the young female entrepreneur component. Like a lot of, you don't see a lot of women in tech or women entrepreneurs or business women. And like even yesterday, like I met this intern who came to my office, and she's like, "This is all you?" And I was like, yeah. And she's like, "Wow, like I'm so proud of you." And I was like, "Thanks. Like I've never met you, but that was like really nice to hear that, So I think that's like one part of it. And being like bootstrapped and self-funded and like growing this organically, like on my own, I think I am proud of what Luna PR is today. And like I'm on a mission to like keep that momentum going. But then there's also like the day-to-day side of things. So like just yesterday, like it's been like from the business, it's like a game, right? Like every day there's like something happening, and like you have to navigate through it. Like, it's like 6 months ago, we had to like fire our entire social media department. And we fired like 7 junior social media managers, and we hired 3 super senior guys. And the revenue in that department has like 3x'd since we did this move. And to like look back at like things like that, like the business side of things, it's like fulfilling. It's like, wow, like we're creating positive impact and like for the business. And like just yesterday, like we figured our company has a 7% month-on-month growth. Like I'm really proud of that. Like that's something that's like every day we're like striving to succeed, to get bigger and to get better.
Yeah, because it's not just a matter of doing great 1 month or 2 months, but that consistency is the hardest part, right? Like if we can go in sports, for example, right? It's very easy to win one time in your life, one gold medal, right?
Yeah.
It's doable, let's say. It's not easy, but it's doable. But to do that every year or every competition to be the first place, that's very, very hard.
Yeah.
And with
That's
all your
discipline.
achievements, that's
Yeah.
discipline, exactly. What kind of avatar do you have when it comes to Nikita as a CEO? Like, how do you deal, for example, with employees that are let's say skillful, right?
Yeah.
They know exactly, experts in their field, but lazy.
When I started the business, I was like,
I don't know, but I assume that you are very strict.
Okay, when I started the business, I was a B, right? Like, it was bad. Like, I didn't have like, I was like really lacked empathy for like anyone. I was like, everyone's gonna come in from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Like, if you have a sick day, like, show me that you're sick. Like, I was seriously like psycho. And I think like in the last couple of years, like, I've come to realize that
It's not working like that.
it didn't really work like dictatorship. Like, I mean, I think I've come to a point where I appreciate my employees as much as they appreciate the job, and I think that like balance is so important for like management, for entrepreneurs, for CEOs that like that are managing a team. Like, treat people with respect. And I've it's not that I never respected people, but I was just very strict. And I think it was also like hiring juniors, and now I have like people in the team that are responsible, and they really value the workplace, and they really value me, and they value Luna PR, and they're honest, and that I think is that gets reflected off of me to them, off of them to me, vice versa. And I think that I think I've changed. I've come a long way. I like to kind of, I don't like so much hierarchy in the business. I really like to listen to what everyone has to say. I think that I have a lot to learn from my employees as well, especially like the more senior people that we're hiring now, that my directors, they come in and their insights are very valuable to me. So I think I've come a long way from like when I first started the business 4 or 5 years ago. And I think I've like also grown to be more empathetic towards them and listen and get their advice and like treat them as like partners. Like, what would you do? Empower them a little bit more. And I think that's made like a day and night difference in the company.
You see this one in a back end, like a process. It's an internal journey as well for you as a founder and CEO,
100%.
right? Because you came at certain stage, particularly when your company has this type of growth, like super fast and constantly, then you need to adjust yourself as a CEO, because the decisions that you have to take, right, and you face, they're at different stage all the time, higher and with the higher impact, with larger impact. Now if you take a wrong decision and you just fire an entire department, well, that's a big decision. So you need to be in this position. But I want to ask you, which one do you consider to be so far, at the moment, your best business move?
Ooh, my best business move, like in my entire crypto journey.
Like everything, like since you were a model and now.
Like I love Louisa, my ex business partner, who I started Luna Management with. And initially, Luna PR was pegged to Luna Management. And we were kind of 50-50 partners on everything. So I had 50% of, like when I wanted to get into crypto, yes, I had 50% of Luna Management, the talent management, and Louisa had 50% of Luna PR. And I think it was like a mutual decision for us to go our own ways, because she didn't really have interest in the Web3 space and the crypto space. And I was losing interest in the model management, the talent management space. And I look back and I think that was the best decision I made. Was like, it was hard. It was like, I knew that
hard emotionally
and financially, Luna Management was paying my bills, right? Like I was in a crossroad where it's like, I knew crypto was a future. Like I'm gonna like head towards crypto. And I mean, it was literally like 3 months later, like I had hit rock bottom. Like I didn't have any money to my, I think I had like $10,000 in my bank. And I was like questioning, like, what should I do with my life? Like I've $10,000. I've just left Luna Management. Like I know crypto's gonna, like I had everything in crypto. Like I was like, I'm not gonna touch Bitcoin. Like $10,000, like that was it. And yeah, I think like, I just stuck, like I just knew in my gut, like I just had a gut feeling like this is going to be the way forward.
It's always like that, isn't it?
I just knew. It's like, I can't explain it. It's like, I was adamant. Like I even like told my parents, like there was a time my house was robbed and vandalized. And I said, sell it. You don't need it. Don't live in the house. Sell your house. Put it all in Bitcoin. And they're like, are you nuts? But it's like, I just knew it, and sure enough, it was like just couple of months later, next bull run.
Is this backed by the education you got in all this period, and you understood that this is something big and is coming, or is some sort of, okay, I rely on these particular people and I know what they are doing, and if they are here, I want to be here as well because you're scanned with them.
It was all self-education. Like I taught myself. But like, I know it sounds weird. And like, I mean, it's not like advice I'd want to give anyone, but like, I really trusted my instinct. I just can't explain. Like, I just knew it. Like, I knew it so much that I made a video in July 2019 to document. Like, I still have the video, and I was like, I've like hit rock bottom, but like, this video is going to prove life can go from 0 to 100 really quick.
I think these are the moments in our lives when we have nothing but just our confidence in that thing.
Yeah.
Like literally nothing. There is nothing to explain, nothing to see that light ahead, or it's just you. Yeah. Be 100% in that thing.
And the day I made this video, I remember like this was like 2019, like Luna PR was hardly generating any revenue. I think we were doing like less than $5,000 a month. We just were not making, like I had maybe three people on the team. One was my sister, and I was, paying off my sister's tuition as well. I was trying to help her out.
Tough times.
Like my dad had lost his job. My house was robbed and vandalized. Like my parents when it rains, it pours. Like that was just like everything was like crumbling on us as a family. And so I was like, okay, let me help my sister out. She was like kind of halfway through dental school. She wanted to be a doctor, and she's a doctor now. But back then it was like, okay, let me try to pay your tuition. You help me out for free then. And then my sister helped me out, and you've met her.
Yes, indeed, a beautiful person.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And so it was just like a crazy time. And then I kid you not, like 6 months after I made that video, like of hitting rock bottom, like Luna PR was making a revenue of $50,000. And then 6 months later, we hit like 6 figures. And then like the next year later, I mean, like touch wood, I'm very grateful. And I really thank God like that today, like the company's had like steady growth, and we're at a position now where it's like, it's like we're not on this like kind of uncertain trajectory where we're like, are we gonna survive?
Do you believe in at this level, when we are at that lower point in our life, right? In this energy that you literally start vibrating in a different level, right? Internally, you have everything is 100% you, because there is nothing to hide, or there is no how to explain. There is no other exterior elements that can influence your energy rather than the moment itself.
Yeah,
right?
For sure. I'm like very
and then you go like
that.
I have to be me all the time, and you were, because that's 100% you there, right? You believe so much in this.
Yeah.
And then do you think that having that type of energy internally, then it's a matter of attracting all these things around you? And as you mentioned earlier, like I got a call from Fox News, I got a call from, because it's all this internal fire. When you are 100% you all the time, literally different energy around.
Definitely. I'm very spiritual. Like I always think to myself, it's like everybody wants to succeed, right?
Absolutely.
But like you got to ask yourself, like, why you? Let's say if you were the master or you were God or whatever is the higher power. Why you? Why should anyone pick you ever? I ask myself that every day. I'm like, why me? And I keep telling myself, because I'm going to make sure that I do good, I think good, I spread good words, and I'm going to make sure that I make a positive impact, that I'm going to set a good, I'm going to look back and I'm going to leave my mark on this world. I'm going to do something good and people are going to remember me for that. I'm going to help society.
Absolutely beautiful. And ultimately it's a matter of because I deserve.
Yeah.
Right? Is literally you position yourself by doing all these things, taking actions all the time, and you have this mindset game, right?
Yeah.
Self-conversation that it's very important to understand that you deserve.
Like, okay, so it's interesting because I guess that's like the Indian side of me. In a lot of in Indian spirituality, we believe in karma quite a bit. So I'm a strong believer of karma, that like whatever I get, I've deserved it, whether it's good or bad, but I can change my karma in this lifetime. So like, it's not like, I'm not saying like, oh, in my next life, like I'll succeed. But what I'm trying to say is like, I can succeed in this lifetime. Like I just need to like do positive actions and give, and like, just genuinely be a good person. Like, do you know we have a foundation, Luna Foundation? And
Yes.
Since I started the company, we've been educating about 10 to 12 girls every year in India. And last year I actually went to the slums and I visited them. It's something that like, I'm not flaunting out there, but it's something that like means a lot to me, because I feel like okay, if I'm making an impact, I don't just want to say that I'm going to do good. Like I actually want to do it. And if that's something that I can start off with, I just want to make sure that like ultimately it's not just business for me. I'm driven, of course. I love what I do. I love the business, but like
it's always important the execution and how did you behave through this entire journey. Right?
And I think gratitude is the most important thing. Like you have to be so grateful for what you have. I'm greedy. I want more, but like I'm so grateful for where I am, and I think that's why like I love the foundation as well, because every time I go to the slums and I go to India and I see like how people are living and like the hardship, like they're so happy where they are, they're grateful, and that's why their life is, they're fulfilled, because like and they don't have like everything that we have. They maybe they're living at a fraction of their quality of life is a fraction of what we have, but they're happy, and that's the world you create for yourself. And I think that's why I love going to India. Like it just kind of puts my feet back on the ground, and then I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm grateful. Like let me like take a step back and like just express my gratitude.
And everything else from now on, it might be just a bonus, because I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
That's absolutely beautiful. I want to go to explore more this part of mindset, because I like it very much.
Really?
And,
I'm like, wow, we got deep in there.
Yeah. Let's go. Do you believe in this life that our ultimate game is just you versus your mind, in a matter of as much as you can control your thoughts and have this ability to not to feel the fear, right? Because it's normal, but how do you deal with it, right? Like how do you interpretate that type of thoughts, and how do you manage that? Like when you have this oh my god, it's not going well, it's not I'm not closing the deal, or the client, or the month is not good, like, or I don't know.
It's your mind. It's your mindset, like, is everything. Danny, do you
know what type of self-conversations do you have in these moments?
Nothing. Like you just deal with it. Like you just move on. Like what are you going to do? Like, 2 years ago my wallet got hacked. I lost $2 million. Like what am I going to do? I'm going to sit down and cry in the corner, or I'm going to get up and like keep moving.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Wow.
You know, but it's like it is you and your mind. Like, it's like what is it ultimately?
Oh my
Like,
God.
actually, what is it? Like, keep asking yourself, what is it? It's money. Okay, like, money comes and goes. Like, you know, I made it quickly. Like, I made it fast. Like, it's fine. I'll do it again. You know, like, what can you
My
say?
friend, you are strong.
I am strong, but like not as strong as like I think I come from a very tough family, you know? Like, if you look back to like what my mom went through, my mom is strong. I'm nothing compared to my mom. My mom's father was murdered. He was stabbed over 50 times. My mom was 9 years old when she had to see that. My mom went through a very tough time growing up. My mom lost her son when he was only 7 years old to meningitis, my brother. My mom lived on an oil tanker for 13 years with my dad. You know, the things my mom has had to go through, how can you even compare to losing $2 million in a wallet hack to something like that? You know, you have to look around you. You have to be grateful for what you have. I think that's honestly like my source of like that. I think that's why I am the way I am, because like, you want to see tough times? Go speak to my mom. You should have my mom on the podcast. You don't know what she's been through. She's been through hell.
I believe you.
Yeah.
And I love you before, but now I love you even more.
Thank you.
Because I'm discovering Nikita, which obviously I didn't have access, and I'm super grateful that you're sharing these things with us.
It actually made me emotional talking about it.
That's
you know?
okay.
I
That's
don't
fine.
usually talk about my mom a lot, you know, but I think that there's so many times like people like make a big deal out of their own problems, and it's like, you know, there's so much more. There's so much shit that people go through in life. Like, how can you complain about like materialistic things?
No, indeed. Today we have problems that we didn't make it to the pool to have our mango juice with prawns, with you know, like yacht parties, and we are sad.
It's all mindset. It's and you know what? And this is why one day I'm gonna be someone. I'm gonna be a well-known tech entrepreneur. I'm going to be a billionaire. You know why? Because let me tell you something. If you want to be a billionaire, you need to be able to handle problems. I think that's like the number one key fact. I see it all the time. Even with my husband, Philip, like he gets the slightest problem and he freaks out over it. The whole day is gone. No, like you think Elon Musk doesn't have like a plethora of problems. Like
Philip is a machine.
I know like, he is. I don't want to talk shit about my like, Philip.
Yeah, we had Philip here, but unfortunately we didn't have time to go through all these things. But like we know each other, and like shout out to Mr. Philip Lord.
He is a machine. No, he's. I mean, he really pushed me to get into the space as well, into the Web3 space. So I have so much appreciation for him. But you know what I mean to say is like, you know, we're talking about like mindset, like.
But let's go like this.
Test.
Let's go like this. You did it. Now is like all highlights, all news press, all everything, PRs, Nikita, billionaire, everything, right? You did it. You woke up in the morning, day one. What do you do?
What do I do? Day one? Oh, I wake up like fast forward. It's my
life. Like fast forward. Like this is day one. You woke up and say, oh, and I'm a billionaire. Who is Nikita then?
Okay. So disclaimer, that was a slight hyperbole. I was like, you know, just kind of exaggerating my life. But okay, hypothetically, if I wake up one day and all of a sudden I'm all over the media, I'm a billionaire. Honestly, I'd hope that, what is this, like 5 years from now or like tomorrow?
You tell me.
Because like
what's your time frame to become billionaire?
Okay. I dug myself a hole, didn't I?
But let's say you did it.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't matter. Within 2 years.
Okay.
Within 2 years from now.
Well, I'd hope that I have a family by then. You know. What would I do? I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I have no idea. I mean, like, I don't know. I'd probably
look at you. But it's not like
I'd get a big yacht and I'd invite you over and we'd go to Mykonos
you already
and party
did
it up.
You already did that. We've been to so many yacht parties by Luna PR, and it's absolutely amazing. No, you already did that. It has to be something more. It has to be I don't know. You just build the larger companies, or you just go and swim with dolphins in Puerto Rico, doing Havanas, or I don't know, like it's something that you want to explore different parts of you.
Oh,
or
okay. I'd probably start like a dog farm here in the UAE.
Yeah, you see.
I don't like the way they treat dogs here, or like how dogs are kept sometimes, some places. And so I'd probably open up like a dog farm. I have 3 poodles. I gave 2 to my sister. I saved them from the desert. There was like a black market there. It was really bad. So I'd want to like, I'd probably be like, hey, let me just
now I'm
like,
seeing you on the main boulevard in downtown with
poodles.
with 20 ropes, like
20 poodles.
Yeah, like hey.
I love that. I really love poodles.
New Dubai's billionaire, the newest girl in town.
Look, okay, billionaire status. I don't know if I want to be a billionaire, right? Like I want my company to be at that point. But I think that...
Why is that? Because then you have access to such amazing things.
Because then I'm like a high profile individual, and then it's like you constantly have to be around security, and you're like living a tough life, and I'm a US citizen, and then like next thing you know, like the SEC is after me, taxes, and then I'm not a billionaire anymore. I'm just a multi-millionaire anyway. So no, but it's crazy. I mean, I think that like when you're at that status, like it comes with a lot of responsibility. Like it's hard to switch off. Like like I've met a couple of billionaires in my lifetime, and it's just like they're constantly around security, and it's like it's you have like always people around you. It's like.
But you know what I believe? I believe there is one way only. Like the moment you start building in this direction at this frequency, obviously you become and you access a different version of yourself every single day through all this storytelling, right? You can't go back. You can't reverse things. You can't go and have and acquire all these energy from all these people around, and managing now from 20 employees from 5, now you manage 1,500, and the volume here, right? And then suddenly some zeros in my bank account, multiples, right? Then I become again like 10 years ago version. No, that's not possible. That's one way only. Once you become billionaire, you need to act like that.
But
it's very hard. I don't think you can go
as well.
back.
Yeah, I think it's just managing. It's just like I think it's just making sure it's discipline, that there's always something that like balances you out, right? So for me, as I was saying, it's like my foundation is that like I need to make sure that I set some time every year, once a year, to go to India and go to the charity, to go to the foundation. And yeah, like just it helps me. And it's like maybe for other people that's like going to yoga retreat. Maybe for some people that's climbing Mount Everest, right? Like I don't know what that is, but like I think it's important, like when you're living like this high energy life and you're like on this like upward trajectory, and like you're driven, or not even in an upward trajectory, but like you're driven and you're like in a rush to like fulfill your goals. Just like make sure that like you have the discipline discipline to also like unwind a little bit, rewire yourself.
Yeah, the thing is, at that particular moment when you did it financially, it's just a matter of you realizing, now I have time. Like I don't need to be in this loop of daily task management all the time. Now I can relax. But it's very hard to find the next version of yourself, because it's not easy. Now I have the same vision with you. I'm on the same page. I want to build ICN $1 billion company and our entire group. And I'm sure I will do it. It's just a matter of time. But I need to invest a lot in myself, in my mindset, to handle companies like this at this level. But right now, I'm having this kind of conversations, internal conversations, like what would I do next to be in the same internal fire, as you mentioned. Like what will be that? It's not easy. Like for me, it's not easy to find that the best version of the best version, right?
I mean, look, you know your destination. There's many paths to get there.
Absolutely. And one of them is to come to ICN Talks and talk about all these beautiful stories. And I'm super grateful you came. Unfortunately, we need to, and we are limited by time with everything. And I just want to keep it open like this. I want to put it in this way, like Nikita is becoming a billionaire.
No.
And and then we need to do part 2, part 3, right? With all this beautiful journey that
My journey.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I'm super grateful you came. And what else? I don't know. I have a lot of feelings right now because I'm literally excited for this interview. I've been waiting for so much.
I know. I didn't expect
and now
it
I'm
to
discovering
be like so
a different
emotional
Nikita.
and like spiritual. I had no idea we were gonna have like this discussion, but I think like I mean I think like we're in this like crypto scene, and we constantly meet at all these after parties and side events, and there's always like music, lots of people, alcohol, it's like a different atmosphere, so you don't really like you don't really actually get to know someone in an
Indeed,
environment
yeah.
like that, and I think that's why it's like opening up to you about that. It's like it's I mean, it kind of caught me off guard as well, but I think it
it's
was
normal. This is
great to
a
talk about
natural
it.
conversation, and I'm super happy that I could enter a little bit, some tiny steps
Yeah.
on your back end there.
Yeah.
Again, thank you so much for coming, and I want to see you building great things in the industry, and see you everywhere.
I'm going to see you everywhere.
Thank you very
We'll
much.
both tie our yachts together in Mykonos.
Yes. Let that happen soon. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. I'm getting emotional as well because indeed it's true feelings. I'm very happy for today's episode, and see you again on the next one. Thank you very much.